Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoyed tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to youtube.com/@EriseGames or at twitch.tv/EriseGames. Alternatively, you can enjoy all our recorded sessions on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session. And without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. We join Jasper tonight as he walks through the dense woodland area nearing the work site Cecil has set up. He follows Cecil, now Olivia, as the dainty figure seems to slide through the trees and bushes almost as if someone walking through their own home. Anyway, the mansion is close by. Don't mind those dolls on the trees.
Jasper, who would be using his deaf sight to see through the other side, and how's it going with the ghosts? If there's none, there are suspicious or perhaps even kindred Cainites on the other side in the Shadowlands. As he's walking through, does he
You
seem
see
to
nothing. You see nothing other than essentially husks of wraiths. Right. Right around those trees over there used to be a path. The path led to the
Mm.
mansion, but it's overgrown now. And the cathedral is, well, not within the mansion, but you'll see. And sorry, did you say something?
If you say so, Cecil.
Um, Olivia basically leads you through this dense woodland area until you see peeking through the trees a number of indications that there are ruins of a building here. Um, Cecil, or Olivia rather, leads you inside, and you see no signs of a cathedral. Right. So when you bring in material, this is usually the tricky part. If you need their legs intact, if you don't want them to die, have accidents, etc., etc., do keep in mind that this part is dangerous to mortals. To us, not so much. Olivia leads.
Jasper
Yes?
Jasper looks around to see what is exactly this danger to mortals that he speaks of.
Here, you see nothing. But as Olivia leads you through a few rooms, eventually reaching one of the rooms, you see that the wooden floor has been essentially stripped bare, exposing the dirt underneath. And said dirt has essentially been pushed downwards and dug down, creating this pit. Cecil walks up to the pit, braces one leg against the wall in front of him, and allows themselves to just slide downward.
Jasper, with his details, would carefully but meticulously use them to walk himself through with using his tails to hold himself in the walls downwards.
As you descend in this pit, eventually the walls become the earth on the walls becomes denser, as if it's either more packed or maybe moist. And at some point, you begin to see what look like veins going up the walls, and then flesh. And eventually, you the walls basically open up to a larger cave. The walls are covered in this wriggling mass of bodies, attempting to reach out for help, scream out, do anything, and yet able to do nothing, really, other than exist. This large cave covered in flesh culminates in an altar in the center, from which there is a single strand of flesh going up, and the strand of flesh thickens and thickens and thickens until it reaches the ceiling of the cave. And somehow, through some unknown mechanism, you can see that down this pillar are dripping small strands of vitae coming from an unknown origin, somewhere beyond the ceiling.
Well, I must admit, you have done quite the good work. So, would you mind telling me what you have done so far, so I can get to know better what I must do forward?
I'll look around. Walls are done, ceilings done, pillars done, altars done. The idol isn't.
The idol, which I believe we need. Well, I need to learn more Coldunic to be able to do an idol like that.
That's my theory.
Hmm. What can you tell me exactly about Caldinism? Please enlighten me.
Well, among
For I am doing my own studies, but it's still out of my grasp. I see bits and pieces, but not the whole puzzle.
well, put in the simplest terms possible. As a Khaldun, unlike necromancy and like thaumaturgy, you are not drawing upon power stored somewhere else to do something. You are calling upon a spirit to do something for you. It's a different process. The effects are quite spectacular too. But it does require you to be able to control the spirit to some extent. This can be done a few ways. The easiest one would be enslavement. The longer process would involve convincing the spirit, binding it through a pact.
Jasper nods to the ideas as he looks. And, hmm, well, I know that, well, the four basic element spirits, but are there any others that
Well,
you know?
there are many of odd origins. Obviously, the more ancient the spirit, the more muddled the line becomes, but well, plants have spirits tied to them. Wraiths can technically be, to some extent, considered spirits, even husks. And then you have the more abstract ones. I have not done as much research as I should in this area, though it's taking me there. Though keep in mind, the more you research Caldunism, the more you might find it's not a forgiving art to fail at.
I see. I thank you for, well, your warning.
I
I have
didn't
been
give this
pondering.
warning because, well, I didn't give this warning out of goodwill. You mess up with Caldunism, you may suffer, but we all will suffer. Way of Spirit, for example. You'll be tapping into the vision of thousands of nature spirits. One of them rebels, you're not able to control it, nature itself will turn on you and anything that feels even remotely connected to you. Do you understand that?
Hmm, I do now. Much better.
Good. Then only one step is left if you want to study Coldonism in the area.
Which is to find the spirit in itself.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it, but I meant more confirm with the owner or the person most bound to the area which spirits you can access freely.
And who might that be? Do you know?
You can find her in the woods. Just look around, you'll find her.
Is it the one that has been teaching
No.
Serena yet?
Well, go away and find out. Apparently, you're on the path now. That means do your own research.
Very well. And Jasper would go up through the hole he came down and start to climb up once again.
And as you begin to climb up, um, Olivia basically resting their hand on the altar, running it through the leathery surface, looks to you and says, another thing, you'll need material. Do you know where to find some? I'd start thinking about that.
I have some ideas, but I'll have to see in itself which one is the better option.
You do that. I'll be busy with research from now on. And with a step, Olivia fades into nothing, and you feel a very strong breeze running up the tunnel and out of the mansion.
Well, Jasper continues to go up
Mm-hmm.
until he's out of the hole and walks out of the mansion. Olivia did say that whoever this master is somewhere around the woods. So I guess he's going for a stroll on the woods.
Mm-hmm. You walk around the woods, and I'll need you to roll me a perception awareness, please.
Does Auspex apply?
Mm-hmm. Well, Auspex allows you to do it, so no, actually. Okay. You walk around, you see some of the wooden dolls hanging from the trees. You feel this odd sensation, but otherwise you don't feel any any different. And you continue walking around the woods. As you do, are you looking for something specific?
Well, I'm mostly going through sensation, most likely from previous experience with dealing or sensing spirits. Maybe I can get a glimpse to a direction that I have to go.
Okay. Um, you look around, and as you do, you hear this very soft somewhat high-pitched rumbly noise and taps on the floor. And then you look down to see a very young wolf cub biting or attempting to bite into your ankle and pulling at your clothes with a very non-intimidating growl.
Jasper looks upon him and starts to speak with him. What is it that you want, little one?
It seems to ignore you, mostly in anger, and I'm assuming you have Animalism 1?
I have Animalism 3.
Okay, good. So you basically hear its mind and the intent urging you to get away, calling you dangerous, and clearly attempting to dissuade you from, proceeding forward. And as you hear it do this, you look up and you see one of the trees slowly change shape and texture in a very odd way. And out of that tree, melding out of the wood, you see a familiar figure.
Deimos, get back here.
The wolf does not stop.
Serena rolls her eyes and comes and grabs Deimos by the scruff. What did I tell you? You don't harass flesh crafters. Okay? And then she puts him up on her shoulder. Jasper, why are you in my neck of the woods?
Well, I was looking for the person that Olivia mentioned, one that's connected to spirits. So I can ask them.
Do you mean the lord of this land? Then that would be me.
And yes.
I
Serena.
own, I don't know if you've been informed or not. I mean, I'm pretty sure the eldest is perfectly aware of the fact that this land belongs to me both in paper, spiritually, bureaucratically, and fiscally. The cathedral, I am letting you out for the better cause. But the rest of the forest, what do you entail to do with it?
Well, I plan on learning the path of Coldonism in a way
That
that allows me.
That is good, but how are you planning to do it? And Serena puts down Deimos, looks it in the eye, and says, "Go back to your sister now. Or sit and don't move." And she starts Jasper.
The wolf
different-
cub continues to growl at Jasper and snap.
If it's starting to
does not
snap,
approach.
then Serena. Okay, then as long as it doesn't approach, it's good. Serena starts walking around Jasper, and her hands clasped together like fingers, like in front of her. You see, there are different approaches to Caldinism. And my question is, what type of approach are you planning on using?
That is an excellent question. One that I believe would be the most appropriate would be to well in tune with the spirits and the land itself.
Well, you can't
Okay.
attune yourself to this land. This is the land I'm attuned to. You're gonna have to find another plot of land. I do have another plot of land that I have purchased for another haven, but since currently I am performing a dedication to my deity, I am attuned here, and I shall be as long as needed. So this land is already taken, like I told you. But either way, you don't need to be attuned to a land.
Well, when I said in tune with the land, I mean nature itself, not the specific place.
Strange. Mm. I didn't know that the meets practice first the way of nature before they learn the other elemental ways.
Well, I myself am figuring out. I have my own methods and beliefs, but to be exact, I
Either
believe
way,
that.
you did not answer my question. My
And
question
please,
is, my question is, how do you plan? I'm sure, I'm sure you have already been taught the basics of Caldinism, right? The idea of how it works.
yes,
Now, how are you planning to get the spirits to help you?
I'm planning on persuading them, even if it takes some time.
Persuading.
Yes,
Uh,
if they can be persuaded to begin with. I have never spoken with one, so
and if they don't want to help you,
then
well
I'll
then,
go look for another one. I do not believe that forcing and fighting against nature is appropriate way of learning Calvinism, nor for what I believe in to be a greater path for me to walk on.
perception, empathy.
Very well. And Jasper, if you are lying, please roll manipulation and subterfuge.
Seven successes.
He is not
Six.
lying.
Yep. As far as you can tell, he's being truthful.
Hmm. You see, I know that some of your clan are not willing to enslave spirits. Force them to do the bidding. And Serena, she was walking around you at like basically maybe 2 meters the entire time, very slowly, contemplatingly, and then she just appears like right in front of you, like there's like maybe like an extended palm of hand in front of you. See, I really don't want my god to get pissed off because you decide to take liberties with the spirits here.
Jesper, standing still and calm, looks at her and says, "Whatever rules you tell me not to follow, I will follow them
Very well.
to the T."
There are streams here. There are earth spirits here, and wind is all around us. But I suppose if you want to speak to the spirits in this area, you should show your piety to the land. Her gaze wears off a bit. And Miguel, I'm just gonna freeform this, just like let's say it's about 4 miles from here. About 4 miles from here. About 4 miles from here, there's a very littered place of humans. There's a very littered campsite where humans are often about. I want you to bring me one of those defilers of nature. When they arrive. I mean, I don't care what you do with them later, but their blood must be spilled by me. After that, you can use their flesh as you will.
Well, that will certainly be two birds with one stone, so to speak.
They will have to shed their life at. Cyrilla points to an area further away, into the woods. Over there's a clearing. You will know what it is when you see it. For each tree facing it has a face carved into it. Do not enter that area.
Very well. Any other rules?
Like I said, no forcing the spirits to do anything they don't wish to do. No mutilating the wildlife. No polluting the wildlife. If you do any of those, I will take my payment in blood.
It was never my plan to harm nature to begin with, Serena, so you do not need to worry.
Right then. So you wish to... Well then, I will summon some spirits here. I will summon some spirits here, and you may show to me how you're going to deal with them. Let me go to... Okay, so that's 8, 4, 5, 9, 10 dice.
I question out of character. Are you summoning them now, or am I supposed to go and become?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 successes. And basically what Serena does, she takes the ring that's on her finger and she cuts her wrist and sprays the blood around the area.
Okay.
But she's not dealing with the nature spirits.
Well, you got 2 successes. Let's see what comes up.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Um, Jasper, you don't need to use Spirit Sight to even perceive this, as when Serena does this, it's almost like you intrinsically know it's there. You, for sure, know Serena does not have your necromantic aptitudes, and yet she seems to perceive it as well. Perhaps not in the traditional way, but you can perceive it. You can know its shape, you can know. You have an idea in your mind of what it looks like. The soil between the two of you slowly begins to shift slightly, and a small molehill almost begins to spurt up. And from within it, you see something peek out. Almost like an appendage, and then another, and this amorphous, jagged, ethereal creature springs out with an almost lazy curiosity looking around.
Is it the same one that I've seen before, or like
No,
some new one?
it is
New
a
one.
new one.
Hello, my friends.
It does not seem to really acknowledge you, Serena. It seems to just look around curiously.
Offer it your blood.
Jasper holds out his wrist and, with his tail, slits it to make it so blood comes out.
Mm-hmm. You allow some blood to pool on your wrist without you even having to drip it down. The creature, its attention seems to look towards you with some curiosity, and one of its appendages seems to reach out towards you.
I keep myself still and let it just do whatever he's about to do.
Mm-hmm. The creature seems to almost, in a very odd way, sample your blood with some soft motions. It's odd because you don't even feel it touching you, but you can see what it's doing. And as you allow some blood to drop, almost instantly it evaporates into this red mist that vanishes into the creature.
Jasper keeps still but looks at Serena to see
Communicate with
if
it.
he should proceed.
Communicate with it. Serena, meanwhile, is looking around for to see if any other spirits have come to her call.
I'll make a roll. In the meantime, Jasper?
Jasper, looking at the spirits, he starts speaking. I greet thee, spirit. My friend has...
Please. Go on.
Sorry, I was about to say, I forgot. Give me a second. My friend has summoned or called upon you, for I wish to be able to speak in, perhaps even if you grant me the chance to make a pact with you.
The spirit seems to be interested in your words, but one of its appendages continues to reach out for your wrist.
I was wondering, perhaps, with mutual exchanges of, well, enlightenment, we could help each other in ways that by ourselves we wouldn't be able to.
Roll manipulation and what would apply here? Expression?
Charisma and expression.
Charisma and expression, yeah. I suppose that. Though this would be more manipulative. You're trying to get it to do something you want. So manipulation and expression.
Okay. Persuasive applies, I was going to say, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The creature listens to you, and its appendage stops. It seems receptive to your words.
But he does not speak, right? It does not speak, correct?
It does not.
Jasper tilts his head to the side and says, would it be appropriate for us to be able to communicate better if I could peer into your mind so we are able to speak with each other through a language that I can understand?
The spirit seems to emanate a feeling of confusion. It does nothing to symbolize it, really, but you can almost tell what it's feeling in a very odd way.
Jasper ponders for a second as he tilts his head to Serena. Are spirits not able to speak like graves?
Cyril looks so confused. I was certainly able. I am certainly able to speak with the spirits. She approaches. By the way, Miguel, did you roll for me?
I did.
Okay. Is there something else?
Is it relevant right now?
Just so that it hangs about.
Well, it's gonna show up and, like, if you don't interact much with it, it's gonna go away.
Well, what spirit is it?
It's also an earth spirit.
Serena sits down, and Jasper should be able to perceive another earth spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, my friend. I have come to learn your ways. Would you be willing? I have already learned from one of your own.
The spirit seems quite disinterested in you and continues to look around.
I have blood to offer, and I can perform services for you. I know that the humankind pollutes and all, and I have means of making them pay for it.
As soon as you say that, its attention draws to you, and it's almost like the shape becomes sharper in a way. And you almost see at the point of the molehill small pebbles with quite sharp edges peeking out once in a while.
Hello. I greet you, Spirit of the Earth. I wish to learn your ways, to become closer to the nature, despite my undead nature.
It seems
What service?
inquisitive, but does not speak.
I know my blood is magic, but I also know that the Earth suffers a lot under humanity's strain. I am one that feeds on humanity, so I ease the humanity strain on the Earth. Would you be willing to teach me your ways?
It seems to ponder for a moment, and then the fluidity of the shape loosens, and you see an appendage reach out to you.
Sarita cuts her wrist and reaches out to, well, rather her palm, and reaches out to the appendage.
Instead of reaching for the blood, it specifically reaches out for the closest thing to it, which is one of your fingers. And as soon as there's contact, you hear a very faint whisper, barely perceivable. Cleanse.
What? Repeat.
Cleanse.
Cleanse the area. Of course. There is another friend of yours, and my ally here wishes also to learn of your ways. Would you be...
As soon as you turn the attention to that, it immediately becomes disinterested and seems to... Its attention seems to start drifting away.
Very well. I shall cleanse the land of the pollution and the plastic and all of that which is not here. Is that a deal for you, O Spirit of the Earth?
You feel a sort of pressure on your finger, even though there's nothing pushing against it. And it leads your hand down to the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Do you allow it to guide your hand?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. You touch the loose soil, and almost immediately you feel this sturdy sensation on your palm and the soles of your feet. Any part of you that's touching the ground feels immediately sturdy, feels strong, stable. And you look forward to see that the shape, whatever it is, has left some sort of mark on you. Not a visible mark, but you feel something in you change. Almost as if your soul's been branded in a way.
Yeah. Serena gets up after it. Well then, I'm sure you've heard only from my side, but if you wish to make a deal with the spirit, make a deal yourself. I have a dedication to perform. And Serena, and after that, Serena basically tells to Jasper, "You have some time still before the spirit leaves. You can figure it out what to do. She whistles into the forest, and another wolf comes out.
This one seems to immediately yip at Jasper as it approaches Serena, but doesn't really seem as physically aggressive as the other one. That's still trying to like nip at Jasper, but from the steady position he's in.
Jasper does no movement to try to sway away. He just looks at Serena and says, "They are brave, but they can be
Do not
foolish
touch-
sometimes."
If you touch them in any way, I will
I
skin
don't.
you alive.
I never meant that as a threat, but if another person who isn't your ally comes by,
Don't
can they
worry.
do this?
Jasper, Jasper, Jasper. I see everything that's going on in these woods.
Then there's nothing to worry about.
Either way, I've taught you what was needed. I've showed you an example. And I need to go and perform my duties to the earth. Do not waste my summonings. Offer something to the spirit that they would be interested in. And Serena basically goes off.
Yeah, basically, Jasper, you see the wolves as soon as Serena turns to walk away. The wolves seem to go together in one direction. Serena simply walks towards one of the trees, and as if the tree wasn't even there, she just vanishes into it. And you are left alone with this admittedly curious but somewhat wandering and aloof earth spirit.
Jasper looks back, still unsure how he's going to be able to speak with him or understand, but he starts to say, like my friend also mentioned, I also believe that humanity has become a nuisance. They once worshipped you and other spirits of the land, but they have forgotten. They have become indulgent in their ways, and now have a path leading to
Oh. Everything okay?
sorry, I was interrupted.
All good.
And I believe that they need to be kept in check for both the sake of all beings in this land, but also for their own. I, being both predator of human, but also something greater than human, wish to lead them to a better path if possible.
At the mention of humanity, the spirit becomes sharper, like the other one did before. And you begin to see bits of flint almost poking through the ground. One of them actually taps on your foot, and it's quite sharp.
Yes, humanity has done great devastation, and for that they must pay. With blood, sacrifice, and perhaps enlightenment one day if they are able to see it. If not, that is a shame, but they must go perhaps.
The spirit seems to be more amicable and interested, and one of its appendages reaches out in your direction.
Well, Jasper's still holding still. He just awaits for his appendage, or if he's not moving, he will reach for his appendages.
Mm-hmm. As soon as your fingers brush against the spirit, the a resounding rumbling whisper echoes out. Purge.
If it's purge that you want, and purge, it will happen. I only ask that in return for you to teach me your ways, to make me more in tune with nature in itself.
The appendage that brushes against your finger is then joined by other appendages, and they take a hold of your hand almost. And once again, just like what I described for Serena, you feel yourself stabilizing on the ground, as if the earth beneath your feet seems to harden almost. And you feel that your soul has changed in a way, not an intense, perceivable way, but almost like a brand. And the spirit, now looking a bit more familiar than before, lets go of your finger and then looks to a direction. Seems to be east of here.
Jasper will look in that direction and try to hear or see what's in that direction specifically, if possible.
By the way, is this the same direction I pointed to about like
No.
and campfire?
It's a different one. There's not a one campsite.
No, but I would have pointed towards the one that you said that's the most used and, you know.
Yeah. But it's not that one. Jasper?
So, Jasper is gonna go on a killing spree. Meanwhile, Serena is literally picking up litter through the fucking forest.
It's just what the spirit wants. Jasper?
Am I able to perceive anything from that direction specifically, or would I have to move?
Perception alertness. And you reduce the difficulty by the amount of dots and aspects you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So difficulty would be -4.
Yep.
Or what it was.
Yeah. Okay. So, you attempt to listen to see anything that might be of interest in that particular direction. And very faintly, it barely echoes through the woods. Very faintly, you hear faint laughter. Say a woman, maybe a very young teenager, then a glass bottle shattering.
I see. Well, if it's purge you want, purge you shall get. And Jasper would slowly stand back up, looking at the spirit and turn his attention.
It sharpens intensely and then burrows into the ground.
And Jasper starts making his way towards that direction.
Mm-hmm. And as Jasper goes into the woods, no doubt leading eventually to some news article about some missing teenagers, we take our attention away from these woods and into a small cafe in Hollywood. At this cafe, A man waits at a table, dressed in a fine suit, with his short black hair and thoroughly shaven face. Seems to tap his foot on the ground and seems to flip through a deck of abnormally large cards. As he does so, a camper van parks a couple of blocks away, and out comes Abel.
What a fine night.
The man seems to at first ignore your comment, Abel, but after a few moments, he looks behind him, then to you. Me?
Well, does he look in any way like the person I was supposed to meet here?
Well, as you try to examine him, the guy just chuckles and says, I'm just joshing you. Take a seat.
I will seat across him.
Mm-hmm. As you do, the man begins to shuffle these cards and places them on the table. So, Caroline's told me quite a bit about you.
Now, has she?
Yes.
Everything good, I hope?
All of it good. Seems you are quite the idol to follow.
I will just, do the usual examinations
yes.
of him as well. And, well, including whether he is, showing the symptoms of being kindred or not.
Okay, so 2 rolls. If you are sensing, almost like trying to figure out what he's guilty about, almost like sensing something. The word's on the tip of my tongue. You know what I mean. If you're doing that, roll
Yes.
for it. And if
Yes.
you're just trying to look for signs of him being kindred or not, it's a perception and medicine roll. And you may do both. Now it's fine. Just tell me which one is which, obviously.
Oh, I can do both, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting with the more practical one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Does my Auspex apply in any way?
To perception medicine? Yes.
So do I add
Um,
anything?
If you're
Or is it
activating a
just
specific
morbid?
sense, and you tell me which,
Oh.
I will. Basically, it's reducing the difficulty by that number of dots. If you're just allowing
Oh.
the passive one to take place, I believe it's a difficulty reduction of 2. That's universal.
I'll just apply the Auspex to my hearing.
Mm-hmm.
If the blood is not coursing in his veins and the heart doesn't beat, that's a fair enough clue,
Okay.
I guess. So how do I add any dice?
You just send me if you want to keep it secret. You can send me a PM, but just give me the number of dots and aspects you have, and I'll reduce the difficulty by that much.
I believe it's 2.
Mm-hmm. It's not a botch, at least.
It's a loud cafe.
It seems the cafe is a bit too loud for you to figure this out.
Oh, it will come up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one.
Okay. The new voice that you've been hearing is the one that echoes in your mind. not the old, angrier, resentful voice. The new, comfortable one.
I
And
thought the old one would come back. Right.
the new voice speaks to you and says, I know this one. Same old, same old. Pure guilt. He let them die. His children, his family, all of them. Anything he touches crumbles. He keeps telling himself, it'll get better, but it never will. Not until he realizes what he did wrong. Which, of course, he'd never do that.
Another sad soul. Well, yes. Now that I've performed my preliminary exams on the man, allow him to continue.
Mm-hmm. The man seems to cut the cards in two, and then looks to you and says, right, so, getting down to business, I suppose. I believe I have met some of your friends before, so I think I ought to ask first, does she know?
Ooh. I think she
Caroline.
might suspect.
Personal advice from someone who's been in that position. Better tell her sooner rather than later, okay?
Well, it's not like I'm not taking an active role in her life.
Sometimes that just makes it worse. But your business is your business. I just would hate to see you suffer. Regardless, I've been told you are a bit of a wanderer, if you catch my drift. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've traveled. Have you been to Europe recently?
Where?
Europe.
Oh, not recently. I would like to go back one day, though.
When was the last time you set foot there?
I presume sometime. Sometime after the Great War, I guess.
Okay, so bit too much. I'll just come clean about it. There's been some weird shit happening lately. I like to keep myself on the loop. So, I'll make you an offer. Someone in the city has been to Europe recently and come back. When they did, the process that brought them back is one I wouldn't expect to see again. If you have any information you can give me about that, it'd be cool. If you don't, you just say you don't. Regardless, my offer is if you're honest, and I'll be able to tell if you're lying, I'll grant you a favor.
You need information on a specific person.
Well, yeah, if you've seen them. If you haven't, just say no. You'll get the favor anyway. Been handing them out like candy recently.
Who do you need to meet?
Oh, I have no fucking idea who that is. Um, they came back recently. I know that. Not conventionally either. It's not like they took a plane here. I'd be able to, tell if that was the case. No, they just appeared in LA. Again.
And how would I know? How would I know who you are talking about if you don't have any names or descriptions for
Yeah,
me?
just someone who's done that. If you can tell me, sure. If you can't tell me, just be honest and say no.
Well, why is it important to you?
How should I put this? There are certain things that were left unsaid. I'd like to say them.
And it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be downplaying this somehow, just saying that, the words are not an euphemism for putting an axe into someone.
God, I wouldn't do that again. Wouldn't work anyway.
And speaking of axes, would that person be having an axe?
Potentially, I wouldn't know. But you got someone in mind?
Well, I've seen some weird shit lately as well.
Do tell. And he seems to adjust himself in the chair, put his legs together, and basically just straightens his back, sort of like in a listening position.
Just people popping out of thin air and back, wearing weird masks and chopping off heads.
When have you seen this?
Oh, not too far back.
Okay. Well, this is... First of all, I know what you're talking about. Really good information. Really good information. You definitely deserve a favor for that one. And I'll just assume you don't know who the other person is, or if you do, they're related to these people. It's one of the two, correct?
I can only say for certain, what I've seen, what I witnessed.
My God.
The description that you've given to me is of a person that I just told you about.
Okay. You remind me of one of my grandkids. Okay. I'm just gonna... Okay. Look over here for a second. And he seems to stare at you quite intently. And then says... Okay. Yeah, I can work with this. Alright, cool. I got what I needed. Now I owe you a favor. What would you like?
I'll have to think about that.
I'm on a bit of a time schedule. I'm not going to be in town for a very long time.
Fine. How are you with the death merchants?
Death merchants. Oh, the weird sex cult of Italians?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they're all related.
I mean, depends what you want from them.
I've lost one of my retainers. Somewhere deep in their machinations.
Hmm.
Help to get her out.
Okay, just one.
Well, I suppose her immediate family as well.
Okay. Names, info you can give me.
Well, she goes by the name of Mindy.
Mindy. Okay, I think I know. Yeah, I think I know how to. When is it useful to see her again? Oh, the father too.
Well, I think it's a bad form if I would just leave her father there.
Huh. Roll perception empathy, please.
You have grandkids, you know.
Okay. The moment you express this idea of like loyalty to family, his next sentence almost like his voice quivers slightly, almost as if this personality you're seeing cracks slightly for a split second. And after that, he returns to the same jovial person you've seen so far. Okay, yeah. I think that can be arranged. When would you like to see them again? And where?
As soon as possible. Somewhere. Well, neutral, I suppose.
Okay. Would you need this to stay under wraps? Or do you not care particularly?
I suppose I wouldn't want anyone to hurt them to get to me.
Okay,
So less anybody knows about it, the better.
Okay. It'll be like they never knew about them. Okay?
Exactly.
Alright. Give it like an hour. Maybe an hour and a half. Yeah?
Wow.
Cool.
You're working quick. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't mention it. And keep up
Let
that
me know if you need anything else.
yeah. Keep up that mentality you got, yeah?
Of course.
Good man. Well, I have taken enough of your time, and I sure as hell don't want to waste mine here looking at a full cup of coffee I'm not going to drink. So
Yeah.
he
Oh,
slaps his
what
hand
did
down.
the cards tell you?
Hmm?
What did the cards tell you, by the way?
Oh, they don't tell me shit. It's just a reminder. But I mean, if you want, he takes a card, puts it down on the table, and you see the image of a tower. He's like, I have no fucking idea what that means.
Okay, cool.
Well, maybe you
It
can.
could mean anything.
Hmm?
It could mean anything.
I mean, yeah, but maybe you can figure out. Here, keep it as a souvenir. Keep it in your pocket.
Sure.
It's good luck.
All right.
Right. He slaps his hand down on the deck of cards that now is missing one. And he takes him up, binds him with a rubber band, pockets him, and says, "It was a pleasure to see you, Abel. Keep up the good work."
I didn't get your name, by the way.
Yeah. Funny that, isn't it? Anyway, bye. And he turns, like he gets up, turns around, and starts walking down the street.
All right. Well, might have gotten myself into a bit of a shit.
And as you think this, at a coffee table with the full full cup of coffee in front of you, the barista comes by and puts a check on the table. And as she leaves, we'll go on a quick break. We shall return very soon. 10 minutes. See you soon. welcome back. We now look at the haven where Jack sits in the living room reading as Jasper cleans the blood off of his hands in the bedroom. As this is going on, Abel comes through the front door, meeting Jack in the living room.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello. What you reading?
Since Samson a cold chat. As usual, I guess.
Yeah. Met a funny man today.
Good hell.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if he wanted something and gave me nothing.
Why is he funny?
Was asking about some funny business, you know. People from Europe popping out of thin air.
Jasper stops cleaning himself. He looks towards Abel. What else did he ask?
You mean, he didn't mention any names?
Yes. What did you tell him? What did he ask? Better yet, allow me in your mind so I can see exactly what happened. If you can.
Fine, but don't, go spelunking.
And Jasper will attempt telepathy so he can see who he
Okay.
was talking to. It's this funny man.
So you see the flash of a memory from Abel's perspective. The look of a man with dark hair and a dark suit, pale skin and very, very well-shaven face. Essentially shuffling a deck of tarot cards quite clumsily. Not really like someone who knows how to use them.
And does he remind me of anyone
Depends.
that Jasper has recently seen?
Have you laid eyes on this specific character?
No, I was sharing Serena's vision. When,
Actually
if
he
it's the
has
same
because
character.
even though I didn't expect that time that Jasper went with us, but he did went with us
All
to when
right.
Jack was meeting.
That is very
And
true.
he was in a
in the
car.
car. He was in
Sorry.
the car. So,
Exactly.
yeah, Jasper, you're recognized as the guy who met with Serena.
And Jack.
Jack wouldn't know because he's not reading any minds.
Jasper's tail flicker, agitated in a sort of defensive way, as Jasper now looks able and says, "What exactly did you tell him, and what exactly did he do with you?"
Oh, nothing. He asked me to pay for his coffee, I guess. In a
And he
sort
did
of,
nothing weird.
Oh, well, he tried to read my cards. But he didn't have any aptitude for.
And he
Oh.
used no discipline at all.
I wouldn't say that he tried to manipulate me in any way.
Jesper will reach his phone and he's going to message Serena.
What does Jasper send?
He sends that to Serena that Jack and Serena's quote unquote buddy has met with Abel and he has been asking questions about Jasper specifically, apparently, about myself.
You can almost
Do you send it in
hear.
group chat
You-
or in
You
personal?
can almost hear the echoes of a speeding sports car outside, running towards the haven.
No, actually, there's no speeding roses. There's just red.
Yeah, you just see the message pop up as read. No response.
And since when have you been up with him, Abel? If you don't mind me asking.
What was that now?
Jasper, as he is asking that and listening to him, he is going to use Shades of a Thousand Eyes. Or to see
What
through
was-
the spirits nearby to see who exactly that was on the car.
What was Jasper asking Abel?
He asked Abel, since when have you been speaking with that person?
Oh, I just met him tonight. As a favor to a friend.
Jack, could you make sure that he is not dominator or anything of the sorts? I need to think for a second.
Yes.
And he would now fully concentrate on Eyes of Thousand Shades to see if there's anyone nearby that could be a threat if he is there nearby.
All right. Is there a roll that you need to make?
Yes, perception occult.
Please do so. Okay. From what you can see, there are no intruders eavesdropping on the conversation.
And he's not anywhere near 75 meters from us, right?
Nope,
Or yards.
not at all.
Jack,
I have no
he
idea
has
how to.
met with your friend.
That's hardly a friend.
You understand what I meant. That's what I was trying to say. And
So
yeah. Could you make sure that he is not dominated in any sort of way, since you probably know better of that discipline than me.
I would know if I'm dominated.
Well, if he was dominated and he's done with his command, he wouldn't know anymore. He wouldn't be under control. Well, Serena might
Especially
know.
don't like
She's
this.
good at reading minds. Like how?
Apparently, he has taken a taste on her tarot's reading skills, whatever. Did he give
Well,
you anything?
slinging cards is not hard.
Did he give you anything, Abel? Did you give him anything about us?
Oh no, just told him what I've seen.
I want to
Wow.
see if he's lying.
Perception and empathy, please. Abel, if you are lying. Manipulation plus subterfuge. Okay. Okay. Jasper. As far as you can tell, Abel's not really telling any lies. Or at least he doesn't believe it. Oh. Oh. I think we have
I'm sorry.
Oh good. There we go.
My Discord decided to die for a second.
All good. All good. Apologies for that, folks. Going back. Jasper?
Abel, please do not go back to speaking with this man.
Well, I don't intend to.
Did I feel any lie when he was talking about giving anything or taking anything?
Well, the specific intent, or at least what I think Abel interpreted, is did any information, was any information exchanged? Abel can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I thought was interpreted.
Well, for the whether I gave any information about Jasper or not, or what?
Was that your
Yeah, whatever
your
the
interpretation?
answer for Jasper's question was.
Basically,
Yeah,
Abel, did you lie or not?
About whether I intend to speak to that man again.
About the answer you originally gave. With your original interpretation. You lied. Okay, so apologies.
No, I didn't.
No, so if he didn't, then he didn't.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
all
not
good,
lying.
all good.
There you go.
We don't know who he is. We don't know if he's whose side he is aligning with himself. So do not go to him.
If I can avoid meeting him, I will.
I believe Abel is old enough to make his own choices. Speaking of choices, Jack will just quickly retrieve Abel's and Jasper's blood from Blood Moon infusion.
Okay. So Jack essentially goes to his room real quick. Shortly after he returns with small glass vials containing some frozen solid vitae.
This one is yours,
What
Abel,
is this?
and this one is yours, Jasper.
And what
What
do
is
I do
this
with it now?
It is your blood infused with full Blood Moon and frozen. Do with it as you wish.
Jack, make me a quick intelligence roll, please.
Straight intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and I'll PM the result.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same 2 blood points that I gave Jack?
One.
earlier?
It is one of
There's
them.
1 left. Bottoms up.
Can I try to see if there's any difference with that blood vial?
Well, if you want to make it more exciting, you can swap around. See what happens.
How much is there in Jasper's vial?
Blood point.
First, can I roll to see if there's any difference at all?
You can, but I need you to tell me exactly how you're examining it.
He's just going to open up, put his thumb on top, and flip it once, and take out his thumb to see.
It is a crystal of
Feel
white.
with his skin, and
It's
this is
a
the tube.
frozen crystal of Vita. It's a solid thing.
And then he, with just his vicissitude and his intelligence and occult and medicine, he's going to try to see the difference.
Okay. Make a perception and, let's say, occult.
Does aspects apply on this?
Yes.
-4 to whatever difficulty it is.
Okay. All right. So, essentially, you take the vial, you observe it, doesn't look any different. You pop it open, and as soon as you bring it to your nose, while it does have that faint smell of Vitae that you recognize, something off about it. You can't tell what.
And you want us to swap with each other?
Well, if you want to see something different, because when I drank my blood, nothing much really happened.
You sure you can handle me?
Jasper's one of his tail tendrils reaches up towards the bottle that Abel has and says, "I can handle it," and he gives his own to Abel.
Oh, yeah, maybe it will be good for you. All right.
All right.
And meanwhile, I'll message Serena that Elder is now taking up tarot cards readings. Apparently.
So, who's drinking first?
Jack, you get a response. I was like, 10 question marks.
You guys can exchange these in private PMs, because I want to see how that ends. In the meantime, who's drinking first?
I'll go first.
So, Abel, I need you to roll me a flat stamina roll. Fortitude is applied here. All right. So, Abel takes the crystal, pops it in his mouth, and it almost instantly melts, and you consume it. And for a moment, you feel like nothing's really different. If you are missing any blood, you can add 1 blood point.
All right.
And as soon as you're about to say something, this really sharp sting echoes throughout your body. And I will inform you what happens when it happens.
Okay.
Do we notice his pain?
Well, he does flinch when it happens, yes.
I
By the
wonder what.
way, Miguel, how big are the wolf cubs right now?
It's been
Miguel?
1 week, correct?
Yeah, but how big are they now?
Okay. They are more or less about this size.
Okay, so they're like a month-old babies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh. Jasper notices his flinch and says, I wonder what exactly has changed. I mean, I do have the influence of the sticks in my blood, and whatever you did certainly made it some changes. I wonder how that will affect him. Anyway, and Jasper takes the crystallized blood and eats it.
Same roll. Flat stamina, please. If you have fortitude, it applies. Alright. So you do the same. You take it. And again, you feel nothing at first. Though you know better than to let your guard down after what just happened to Abel. And as soon as that sting happens, who is closest to Jasper?
Probably me.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
Jasper, I need you to roll Dex and Brawl, please.
Oh boy.
Shouldn't have installed, sentient weapons to your fucking spine. Okay. So Abel, I need you to soak. That's roll damage for them. It's just 1 attack.
I'm reading.
So.
Wait.
Just
No,
1 attack, though.
it says
Hmm?
don't have to roll damage. It just from the description you gave me.
Yeah, but that's for retaliations. You're actually using it as a weapon to make an attack in this case.
Mm-hmm. So that's
What's
gonna
the
be
damage?
You haven't given me the damage type.
Probably his strength.
So it's flat strength. Roll it.
The extra successes or not?
4 extra successes, yeah.
Well, actually only 3 because I get a 1. So
Oh, right. Yeah, you did. Sorry.
only success.
Sorry. A lot of shit to account for.
Mm-hmm. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 4. So, Abel, I'm gonna be nice. Soak for bashing halved, so 2 bashing, please. So roll stamina plus fortitude. You have to soak 2 damage. Yeah, that should do it. So essentially, the room goes a bit silent when Jasper takes his dosage, and after a moment, he jolts with his hands clasping his chest, and as soon as he does, the 3 tails on his back start essentially whipping wildly in the air and pushing furniture away. One of them strikes Abel and sort of pushes him backwards, but not with enough strength or enough of a good angle to actually deal damage. And then Jasper, you regain your senses and you regain control over the tails.
Bit of a kick now.
Ooh.
Well, when I took Serena's blood, I seen some wild shit, so yes.
Forgive me, Abel. They have a mind of their own.
No worries. Let's just not do that again.
Well, we only have almost a year until next blood moon, so yeah.
Okay. So, Jasper, who are you most focused on right now?
When you say focus, what do you mean exactly?
In
like
terms of
who isn't?
speech, attention, where's your attention drawn to?
Well, probably to the last person that spoke, so that would be Jack.
Okay. I need to check something. Because shit's going down.
Perception.
It never stopped going down.
Let's see. Where is it? There it is. And it's... Okay, roll me perception empathy, please. Okay.
That's 3 successes.
For a faint second, you swear you hear a voice chattering in the back of your mind. A voice you don't recognize. And it says, "He's guilty. He's definitely guilty. Never held enough power. Wasted most of his life doing nothing. And now he's finally got an opportunity to..." And immediately it quiets down as you feel this almost freeing sensation out of nowhere.
Interesting. He will now focus his attention to Abel to see if something similar happens.
Nope. Nothing.
Very interesting. Anyhow,
What exactly is
do you
interesting?
have anything for today? What?
What exactly is interesting?
Apparently something happened. And there are side effects from drinking Abel's blood. Not that it has much influence on me. I wonder.
Hope you don't get a jiffy tummy.
Huh?
Hope you don't get a jiffy tummy.
No. No, no. And if you know me, perhaps a mild headache, he says. Anyway, is there anything to do?
Irina's on her way. But other than that,
There,
not really. Have any of you seen Larry recently?
I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Wonder what he's missing now again.
I mean, perhaps we should take a look. He has been iffy ever since the, well, Gargoyle Group incident.
I guess.
As you say this, the front door bursts open, and Serena essentially stomps her way into the place.
And she has 2 wolf cubs under her armpits.
Yes, and unlike usual, where she's quite well kept, she looks a bit
Wild.
yeah.
Disheveled, maybe?
So, Serena, hello,
New
children.
hobby.
Right, give me a second. And she goes into the bedroom that she and Olivia share. And she put the
Mhm.
wolf cubs down.
She
And
puts
actually,
what?
is that she put the wolf cubs down in the bedroom and she says, "Do not chew on the moss." Do you understand me?
Phobos sits, just listening to you. Deimos immediately runs off, exploring the bedroom.
You can explore the bedroom, just don't chew on the moss. You can sleep on the moss, but don't let the moss take you over, okay? And then she touches the moss and, just sends a message to the eldest and is like, please don't alter the cups. They need to stay as they are meant to be in nature. I am performing right.
Charisma
Pretty
and
please, with the cherry on top.
charisma and empathy, please.
Oh,
Charisma, empathy.
okay. I broke up. Miguel?
Hello.
Yeah, so basically she touches the boss and she just like said,
Yeah.
I heard. Charisma, empathy, please.
dum 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 dum.
Did you just never gonna give you up the eldest?
Plus
Never
one
gonna give you
difficulty.
up.
No.
Wait, that's Smooth Stalker apply.
Yes.
Here's my empathy. Wait, does Psychic apply?
No.
Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. You send the message out. It isn't clear if your request will be even entertained.
I was just like, please. I guess. Please. 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 Pretty please with a cherry on top.
Yes. I believe we all understand how Serena begs the eldest not to murder her
Yes.
puppies.
No, it's not even just a murdering of puppies. It's just like, like if you just like start nibbling on it, just like don't change them. Let them
Well,
be as they are.
Your request was heard, you think?
Yeah, Serena spends like an extra 5 minutes. Peter, please, please, please.
5
Do I hear
minutes. 5 minutes pass of Serena begging the floor not to do something.
Do I hear that?
I
No,
suppose
it's mental.
Okay.
I can tell you it's mental.
But yes, 5 minutes pass, and Serena comes out of the bedroom.
Right, then. So, what is the fucking reason that you have summoned me out of my dedication to the forest god when I need to raise these wolf pups to full growth?
That elder that wanted to date you is apparently learning the tarot cards.
Serena sits down, just clasps her hands together, puts it in front of her head. Then she gets up, goes to the closet room with tranquilized mortals and stuff. Do I have like a mortal there?
Yes.
Okay. When
Not
she
anymore,
comes
I
out
would
of...
assume.
No. When she comes out of that room, she's looking like a Slavic babushka.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesper, in the meantime.
No. As in, like, no. Let me clarify that. Serena walks into that room. She just like first she sits down, clasping her hands on her forehead, just like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck? Then she just like puts her hands up, stands up, goes into the closet, checks in that there's people there, closes the door, and then
About 6
couple
seconds
seconds-
after.
opens the door and out walks somebody, all of you. You literally can only describe as a silver fox, but still wearing Serena's androgynous clothes, which is sort of like a dress and so on, and still having her shoes and all. And there's a dead body behind her, and it's a man.
Yeah, so it takes
Okay.
about 6 seconds, and she comes out like that.
Jesper, in the
Are we-
meantime, get the towel again and start drying himself. As he is drying himself, the towel seems to spread a little as he's cleaning his skin.
What? Sorry, can you repeat that?
As Jesper is cleaning himself with the towel seems to be spreading a little bit over time at each time he dries himself. And then he will proceed to look at Serena and says, he also has been asking Abel about, well, me.
Yeah, cool. Not happy with it.
Oh, you? Was he talking about you?
What do you mean? Was he talking about me?
No,
No.
Jasper.
Oh, okay. What was he asking you about, Abel, again?
Oh, he wanted to know if anybody from Europe had popped out of the shadows and back or something like that.
Well,
I
nobody.
give Serena very meaningful side eye when Abel says it.
Um, Abel. Abel. So, do you remember that little, like, secret we found out after we killed Delmont when Olivia came back?
Oh, well, you can remind me.
You know, the one about, and Serena just, like, pops out her arm and just flesh shapeshifts into a fucking spear in, like, 6 seconds.
Okay. Jasper, quick note. You know damn well that vicissitude is supposed to take way longer than that. So this is like, whatever the fuck she did is not just vicissitude. It is something new.
Oh, Jasper kind of knows. Serena mentioned once.
Hello?
Hello?
Ah, okay.
Jasper knows who Serena mentions what.
Serena has mentioned before what she was trying to do with vicissitude so she can shapeshift faster.
She was also
Not
talking
to
with
that
Abel.
level, though. Not to that level, though.
It
No,
doesn't matter. It's a detail.
Mhm.
Serena Abel
Uh,
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. All right. I'm getting a hint.
Yeah, so, okay, so, Abel. So, there was an elder. I thought it was just a friend of the. Remember the witch in the forest? Remember the
Oh,
witch
yes,
in the
yes.
forest? Remember the witch in the forest I went to when Olivia was dead?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you see how I'm now mentioning in front of Jasper that Olivia was dead, right? Well, Olivia knows about the thing. About the eldest.
Okay.
Well, as in, like, not Olivia knows, I mean, Jasper knows.
Okay.
So, part of the things that I had to do to learn my magic, I had to help somebody find somebody. And that person, you know, helped me unlock blood magic very quicker. And apparently also that person lowered Jack's generation.
And that person has now talked to you, Abel.
Yeah, and that person also saw the... Look, that person... I asked the big M about, like, hey, is it one of your sister's brothers? And Serena looks at Abel like, please don't make me explain what Big M is. You know, Big Iris.
Mhm.
So, Big Iris was like, ooh. And she does this hand motion, like, neither here nor there.
Like, yeah.
So you see
Alright.
the problem. Basically, that person was like texting me. So, you know, like how the modern kids text these days? Their crushes and stuff? He was texting me like that.
Okay. So you're getting harassed.
Yes, I am getting sexually harassed.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
Exactly.
Well,
And you're saying that he's been using tarot cards?
Oh, yes. And he actually gave like to have it. But seeing as
Serena looks at it like,
Hold on. So Serena, as soon as Abel
Yeah.
takes the card from his pocket and shows you.
I don't take it out.
Okay.
I'm telling.
Okay. So he just tells you then.
But since you've had some bad experience, guy
I don't bad
wanted to
experience.
give it to
Yes,
you.
but Cecil, Olivia wanted to go and
Beat the shit out of him.
yeah.
Well, I took the card only because that maybe you wanted to track this mysterious person, but seeing
I
as
never
you're
really
all
wanted-
so much more well in
Okay,
who this person is, I'll just burn it.
yes, just burn it. Just burn it. Just burn it. No, but here's the thing. He was pretty much adamant last time when he wanted to be Jack. He was like, "Oh, I can come wherever you are."
Quick question, Abel. Do you take the card out now?
Do you want me to take the card out?
I just need to know. I don't have an opinion either way.
Fine. I'll take the card out and burn it.
Okay. Who is in the presence of the burning card?
I am.
Probably everyone.
Okay.
It's
So
burning with a black flame.
no. So as Abel takes the card out, Serena, the card looks oddly familiar.
Yes.
Like very, very familiar.
Mm-hmm. I am taking free at this point,
Hmm?
I am taking free.
3. 3 what?
It's okay. I'll explain in DMs. But do I feel any magic from the card?
None whatsoever.
Why does it have Serena written on the back? That's
Does
a
it have
rhetorical question, though.
Does it have Serena written on the back?
It does not, but the card looks very, very, very familiar.
Serena grabs a card and looks at it.
Mm-hmm. You look at the front of the card, the back of the card. It's the same type of, at least the same type of deck that you usually use.
What's Is he also a diviner? He looks to Abel.
Well, he said that he doesn't have any aptitude for it, but this is the card he pulled.
Why did he use the cards anyway then?
I don't know, just for
People meddle with shit all the time.
fun.
Do I recognize the back of the card? Because, like, the perfect memory and shit.
Make a perception alert or perception investigation, please.
Can I do the same?
Perception investigation.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Let's see the results of this.
I
Because
need
if
to
he
roll
gets
the-
3
results
successes.
like
Three
Do I
significant,
need
successes.
to roll if I am a diviner and I know all about their cards?
not in this case, not in this specific case. So Jack,
Mm-hmm.
this specific card, you notice it's like very well kept, but it does have like a slight, a very, very small faint crease on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Serena's deck also has this specific card with that exact crease on the corner.
May I see your cards, Serena?
After Serena looks at the cards, takes out her phone and she texts a message.
Okay.
Eris to Serena, attempt number 2. May I see your cards?
No, you may not touch my cards.
Not touch, see. As in, physically see.
Serena just scrambles them in her hands
Okay.
as a thing.
So you reach for your cards, Serena. You open the box. Your cards are missing.
Well.
Serena,
Yeah,
after that, takes out her phone and texts something again. It's very quick.
Use to speed up the signal.
So now you want the card?
Yes, please. It's my card.
Whatever you say. And Abel hands her the card.
Mm-hmm.
You can add Stalker to the pile of accusations.
Miguel, I sent the address of the other forest areas, the one that I prepared with Marcus.
Isn't a better question for us to ask is how he got it in the first place?
Apparently he's fast as fuck, boy.
And now I'm worried because Abel came to here after meeting him. And if he's fast enough, then he probably knows the location of the tape now.
Well, if he took the cards, he already did.
No, he could have taken from Serena beforehand. Or I don't know. When was the last time that you saw your cards, Serena?
I have them always on me.
Yes, but when was the last time you actually held them?
They're always on me.
The box.
I
yes.
believe he means when was the last time you used them?
Yes.
Actually, I used them at the beginning of last week. And she looks at Jasper.
So he's still in this this last week's few
And I
nights.
haven't met him in a lot at that time.
Oh,
Either way, Jasper, unless you want to answer how the fuck you appeared from Europe to here, you're not following me. And Serena walks out of the fucking door into the fucking elevator. And
Jasper.
just towards the elevator and presses the elevator. Because I'm meeting him in 30 minutes to return my fucking cards.
All right. And
Oh.
Serena storms out, slams the door shut, and off she goes.
Wonder if she needs backup.
Apparently she
I don't
doesn't.
know.
She just says she doesn't want to be followed.
I thought she said she didn't want you following her.
Which meant probably for everyone else.
Probably.
Well, feel free to do whatever you think is best for her.
May have to be somewhere in an hour as well.
Anyway, Jack,
Hmm.
when you took your dosage, what were your side effects?
When I took Serena's blood, Malkavian curse had a fucking field day at me, and when I took mine, it didn't feel like much anything.
Well, fuck. And I wonder. Abel, you were contaminated once with demon, correct?
At one point.
What was it like?
Well, it's you can never be alone. Let's say. But it is better to know where your enemies are.
And what exactly does he say to you? Or did, in this case?
Well, if he really wants to talk to me, then he usually wants me a deal. You know, do stuff for him, gain
Fascinating.
power, kind of a hand washing a.
Interesting. Well, I am unsure still, but I wonder. And Jesper starts walking towards the open roof upstairs on the haven.
As you do, realize Jack's no longer there.
Jesper, like he completely disappeared.
Well, he's up. He's gone. He's not there anymore.
Okay. Well, Jesper doesn't really mind, but he continues to go upstairs.
Mm-hmm. As you head upstairs, Abel, at some point, you look to your hand, just regular, fidgets that you might have. And as you do, you notice that as you rub your fingers together, your skin sort of follows your thumb a bit in a very odd, fluid way.
So that's what all the questions were about. I'll stop rubbing my hands together unless I get, webbing between my fingers or something.
Yep. You stop, and the moment you stop, You feel this, almost this lifted weight that you didn't know you were carrying.
Yes, I should be more careful what I consume.
All right. As Jasper goes to the roof, what is he intending to do specifically?
Well, apparently he heard voices when he was focusing on Jack, so he's gonna stare out into the distance down below
Mm-hmm.
and maybe focus on one person or another, see if the voice once again speaks.
You
He
focus.
wants to make sure he is not connected to any demons or anything along those lines.
You focus, concentrate, you try to call upon it, just listen. You try many different mindsets. It doesn't seem to come to you.
At least there's no fucking demon in my head. And he will proceed to walk back into the haven. Or perhaps even start walking back towards his, well, the spirit friend from the other side.
And Abel will also leave and drive. He needs to drive to clear his head.
All right. And as the pack splits up, each going their own way, we shall end tonight's session. Thank
No,
you.
no.
No?
No, me and Jack are going somewhere.
Okay, okay. We can roleplay that then.
Exactly. How dare you?
How dare I? Okay.
How dare you? It's only 11 p.m.
Okay, okay.
Who do you think you are?
The SD.
Who do you think
Anyway.
you are? Who
Anyway.
do you think you are?
Welcome back, everyone.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. We just reminded our SD that he still has an hour and 20 minutes to work.
Okay. I feel called out.
No
now.
good VtM story without suffering, my man.
I feel called out now. Right. So you make your way to the address.
So the address that I mentioned, by the way, is
Is
the
the
address
forest,
that
right?
yeah, no, it's not the forest with the cathedral. It's the other foresty areas that I've asked my ghoul.
Marcus's.
Yes. It's the other foresty areas that I've also been like setting up and so on.
Okay. So you approach the address. At some point, I say that you waited for Jack to show up in the car or something.
Are you
gonna meet him there?
No, I would have waited for Jack to come down with me, so that we drive together.
Yeah. So both of you drive there, and Jack. Basically, what you see is that at some point, you park the car, and at a 24/7 parking lot, and you walk
No, what do you mean
into.
24/7
Hold
parking
on,
lot?
hold on. Let me finish. And you walk basically outside of this small gas station off the highway. Just walk into the plains. You walk into this woodland area. And you walk through it, and walk through it, and walk through it. And after a very long time, and mind you, the trip takes quite a while, you eventually reach not even a clearing. In the midst of this forest is this overgrown to shit mansion. With vines climbing up it, trees growing with branches piercing the windows. It is the only reason why you find it is because Serena led you to it.
As Serena approaches it, she's like, "Isn't it beautiful? Look at it."
It is kind of not my style, but I appreciate the view. Looks
Look
nice.
at it. The nature taking over back.
In
What
this way, yeah.
belongs to it. It's beautiful. But I also would like to claim back my cards. I really don't like when somebody takes my cards. It fucks up my divination.
Yeah.
And this was recent. Serena looks to Jack and is like, because just recently I've divined in the last 2 weeks, and I drew the tower. And she takes out the card again that Abel handed to her. And this is my card. I really don't appreciate. And she puts it back into her bag. I really don't appreciate people taking shit that belongs to me.
Yeah, relatable. So, what are we gonna do exactly?
Serena looks to Jack with an expression. Actually, it's not Serena. It's
It's some dude.
It's, I guess,
Some dude.
Renat. I suppose you could call me Renat.
No,
Renat.
okay. Whatever you want to call yourself, okay?
You can call me Renat.
By the way, feel free to raid my closet if you need, like, manly clothes.
I prefer something more fluid. Though then Renat looks down at his feet and looks at the really high stripper boots. So I do guess this puts me in quite the drag queen territory, doesn't it?
Look, I don't really judge,
I would judge you if you judged for it.
and I don't judge, so you wouldn't judge me.
I know. Right.
So what are
Renat?
we talking about then? Also, who are you?
That used to be Serena.
Oh, come on, change back.
Why?
You just remind me of someone.
I do believe you have something of mine, don't you?
In the
Or
house.
is my form offensive?
Not really. Just a waste. I mean, I would be very, very glad if you changed back.
You know what Serena's gonna do?
Hmm?
Serena's gonna, cause she's like eating like a bunch of like, how much, cause she's like filled up on that person in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
How much would it change for her to change back into Iris?
Back into Iris.
Iris.
Using what we
Yes.
So that would be
10,
essentially 3
8,
blood points.
Okay. Very well. I shall change back into, I guess, my original shape. And Miguel, you can describe it.
Yeah. So, Jack, what you see is Iris's face and a good chunk of her body almost burst out in this geyser of blood and then immediately reform. And as they do, you see this somewhat short woman with dark hair. And a very not a wrinkled face, but a very weathered face, as in someone who's been
Through a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, Jack doesn't look that much different in that department.
Yeah, essentially, actually, it's very much a female Jack.
Just a bit more darker hair.
This is what I've used to look like.
Yeah, I mean, sure. If you can do it that quick, I suppose it doesn't really matter what you look like, does it?
Oh my god.
Sorry, did you say something?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. And Jack,
Yep.
for the next... Well, until told otherwise. Every time you think of speaking, you don't. You can still sign, but you're basically... Right. So your cards are inside. We good?
Can I have the rest of them back?
They're inside. I just place them there. Do you want me to go get them?
Serena just checks her cards.
Yeah, you go inside the house. They're
No,
very
no, no.
neatly...
What are the cards, by the way?
Well, it's the whole deck except the one card you have.
Serena looks up. Then looks back. You know, I was wondering which antediluvian are you?
Meh?
Well, given your scale of power, you must be one.
Why do you think that?
Well, and Serena draws a sword. Sword of Cain exists to hunt down the antediluvians that are there to bring about the end of the world, even at the cost of our own lives.
Yeah, you don't want to swing that at me. I mean, I'm sure your friend can tell you exactly why that's a bad idea. You can talk now.
Well, okay, you're fast. I get that. Other than that, I'm not really sure.
Well, given the fact that I can shatter your
Knowledge
arm
generation
with
in
my
my hand.
pinky.
That does sound like an antediluvian awakening.
Not really. It just sounds like someone way older and apparently way better informed than you. Don't worry, we'll work on that.
Serena just like stops for a second and just like As long as it's a generation. And then we have...
Look, it's okay. I'm not mad. We all make mistakes. Plus, I did make a promise that
Promise.
I would work on myself. So,
Work on yourself.
yeah. You know, life gets a bit difficult. You make some decisions, you kill a few people. People get upset with you. And
I can relate
relationships
to that.
break. Yeah.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I mean, yeah, I can really relate to that.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys can go. You got your cards back. I'll just reach out when it's time, yeah?
Um, Did you reach out to them more age-appropriate way?
What do you mean?
Well,
Sorry, are you insinuating that whatever my age is?
no, I'm just saying that the way you've been communicating in modern times means it's a
I
fuckboy
believe
behavior.
that.
What is that? Sorry, I'm not
Uh,
up with all the
Horny
lingo.
teenager.
Really?
It's a behavior.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
The guy
yeah.
puts both his hands on your shoulders and says, if that was my interest, you wouldn't really have a choice. And then he lets go and says, anyway, I think you don't really need me anymore. Though I do have to ask. I did ask this of your friend earlier, and he was pretty sure he couldn't really tell me. You guys wouldn't happen to know about some, some person coming to LA through weird, well, using a weird method. Not really a plane, not really a ship, just
Aren't you? Well, Serena just looks at him and there's like, after at first Serena probably has the absolute fucking fear, right? But then she just looks at it and she's like, if you really wanted to know, you would already know that, wouldn't you?
well, yeah, I could just forcefully rip the information from your head, but again, working on myself. I'd rather you be honest. Plus, I did do you a pretty big favor.
Yes, but I've also done you a favor for that favor, didn't I? And you stole my cards.
Ma'am, are you extorting me? Plus, I
I am
didn't
not
steal your
extorting.
cards, I borrowed them.
You did steal my cards. You did steal my cards. You didn't ask for them. You stole my cards.
The facial expression of the guy immediately changes. It hardens.
So in trouble.
He just
What?
looks at you very silently.
You did steal my cards. You didn't ask for them. You didn't ask for me to teach you how to read the cards. You just took them on your own volition. Because you could.
3 strikes. That was 1. Mind your tone.
I am so very sorry. And Serena does a very deep bow. Your utmost bloody highness. But you did not introduce yourself. Not in any ways. In the ways that Cain has left for us. Nor have you, in either way, let us know who you are. You have taken something of mine, and that is not even a ghoul or a mortal, not someone I have abused or any of the kind. You've taken my property, one that also belongs to, and Serena using her, basically ancient academic knowledge, taken the property of a married woman, and she, shows the hand.
Married.
Married in blood, soul, and flesh.
To who?
To another of her kind. I am a Malkavian, as you know, but you've seen my powers, so you can guess to whom I am married. At least of what clan.
Uh-huh. So you might know who I'm asking after, is what you're saying.
And again, it is a family business, and as the courts allow, I cannot speak. I cannot be a witness to someone that is of my family. I cannot testify against somebody of my own.
Fine, fine. Keep your secrets. I'll do it the hard way. Just remember, you got the first strike. And like I said, it's not like you'd have a choice. So kindly watch your tongue.
Serena shifts back to her redhead self. I'm gonna have to shift back to this form. Because the other one is blood hunted.
I don't have a problem with that. Anyway.
I know.
I think I wasted enough of my time here. You got your cards? We'll be chatting soon, yeah? Because I get the feeling that some of you are lying to me. I just need to pin down which. Afterwards, I'd like to catch up. Yeah?
None of us have been lying to you.
Yeah, well, if you're being honest, you are. If you're lying, you'd say the same thing. So.
Oh, well, it's a funny thing with lies. Lies are only lies if you say something that's untrue.
And if you keep running your mouth about truths people don't necessarily want to hear, sometimes you can tick people off and bad things happen. But that's
yes, I have heard of the legacy of my clan being cursed. Wait, just a second. Let me quote the exact bullshit. Give me the fucking time. Give me the fucking time. The Book of Nod. Where the fuck is the Book of Nod?
Off she goes, okay. Searching.
No, it's here on my table.
She brings the table to the forest. Truly Malkavian.
Fucking Serena turns without a word. just sprints into the overgrown mansion, starts like rummaging through her stuff.
Serena just like does a Lobo. As one of Malka's kin, I am doomed to insanity forever, either way, for defaming the image of Cain, the progenitor of all vampires.
Yeah, I suppose that's an example. Not a great one. Regardless, doesn't matter. I'll be going now. Ciao. Yeah? And in sort of a burst of air, the guy just vanishes.
My fucking god. Who the fuck is he?
You just gave us the fucking idea!
Yes.
He said it's not the antediluvians, it's above that!
Second General Cain. Fuck it.
I'm on the first strike of Cain!
Welp. Should we leave to the abyss tomorrow, tonight?
2 more and you're gonna get caned.
Shut up, people, you're not here.
All right, I think that that does it. We'll end the session here, and we'll be back next week.
Excuse me, what about our Vito Santa Monica or shit like that?
Shoot.
Soon.
Anyway, we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Offensive.